Hi guys, it's Mrs. Warner. Here we are for our last exciting lesson of the week. It is lesson number 7 of linear equations. And this time for our last and final method, we're going to be solving our systems of linear equations by the elimination method. That means one of our variables is going to be eliminated, either our x's and our y's. So the thing we have to do first is we have to look at our equations, and I wrote out our steps for us again, is we're going to look at our two equations and we're going to look to see if the x's and y's are lined up. Now, are the x's in the same spot on the top equation and the bottom one? And our first equation is all set to go, so we don't have to do that first step. Now it says, look to see if one of the variables has opposite coefficients. So like if we look at our x's, the first one has 2x and the other one is 6x. Those are not opposites of each other. But if we look at our y's, the top one is positive 5y and the bottom is negative 5y, and those are opposites. Positive 5, negative 5, opposite on the number line. So we are good to go for that. So it then wants us to take and add both those equations together. So, I need to be able to write. So if I take 2x plus 5y equals 17 and 6x minus 5y equals negative 9, and I pretend to add them together, watch what happens. 6 plus 2 is 8x. 5y, take away 5y, is gone. And 17 plus negative 9 is really just 17. Take away 9, or it's 8. And now the y's have been eliminated. That's why it's called elimination. So now all I have to do is divide by 8 on both sides. So I know x is 1. That's joyous. Once I've solved for that variable, I can now take and I can substitute that x into either the top equation or the bottom one, does not matter, and I can solve for y. So I'm just going to take that 2x plus 5y equals 17. And I'm going to put in the 1 for the x value because that's what I just found. So plus 5y equals 17. So now it's 2 plus 5y equals 17. I'm going to move the 2 to the other side. So 5y equals 15, or y is 3. And what I just found are those coordinates, that solution, that 1, 3. Make sure the x goes in the x spot and the y goes in the y. That was super easy. Let's look at the next one. Okay, so I have, oh gosh darn, I hate when that happens. Let me see if I can erase it. Okay, so I have 4x plus 2y equals 8. And 3x plus 3y equals 9. Now, if I look at my x's, it's 4x and 3x, and they're not going to eliminate each other. If I look at my y's, it's 2y and 3y, and they're not going to eliminate. So if you looked back up at the notes, there's a spot that says, if they don't match by having opposites, then you have to multiply one or both of the coefficients by the x or y terms opposite. So here's what that means. Let's just rewrite our equations. 4x plus 2y equals 8, and 3x plus 3y equals 9. The x's or the y's to eliminate. I'm going to pick the y's. So now I have to think, okay, what's the opposite? This guy, this value down here, this 3y is going to come up to the top. So I'm going to multiply him by 3. And if I do, you can see that's going to become a 6y. But now this guy down here needs to become the opposite of 6y. So I have to multiply him by negative 2. Now watch what happens. Those two numbers, basically I'm flip-flopping their spots, and I made the bottom one negative so that it would go away. I have to rewrite that all. So that's 12x plus 6y equals 24. You take this guy and distribute it to each of the terms. Now I have negative 6x minus 6y, which is what I wanted, equals negative 18. And now I add them together. And when I do, you can see those y's go away. So 6x equals 24 minus 18 is 6, and x is 1 again. Oh, x is 1. Now, I have to take and substitute that back in. I'm going to put it into one of the originals, not one of the fancier ones. I guess it wouldn't matter, but it's better to go to the original. So I just take the top equation, 4x plus 2y equals 8. I'm going to do 4 times 1 plus 2y equals 8, or 4 plus 2y is 8. That means 2y is equal to 4. And when I divide that out, I've got 2. I got the 4 by moving that 4 over. And now my final solution is 1, 2. And that was fun. And that concludes the methods of solving systems of equations. And this method was the elimination one. All right, guys, until next week. See you later. Uh-oh.